Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining, and welcome to today's webcast, Exploring Analytics with Tableau. My name is Jai Pradhan, and I'm a business intelligence and analytics consultant here at Thorogood. I've drawn on my experience in the field of BI and analytics to bring you today's presentation. Feel free to get in touch via my contact details on the screen if you wish to have a longer conversation about today's topic. Before we dive into today's topic, a very quick introduction for those of you who don't know about Thorogood. We are an independent professional consulting firm specializing in BI and analytics solutions. We operate as a single organization serving our customers globally with leveraged teams of consultants in our offices in London, Boston, Philadelphia, Bangalore, Singapore, and Sao Paulo. We're joining you from UK today. We offer a full range of services, right from strategy, roadmaps, requirement gathering, architecture and design, end-to-end implementation, data services, and support for production applications. We also support our customers in training and empowerment programs. As I mentioned, we are an independent consultancy, meaning we partner with key vendors in the BI space, such as Databricks, AWS, Microsoft, among others, but still maintain technology agnostic. However, for today's webcast, our focus will largely be around Tableau. Our Tableau practice and partnership was initiated back in 2012. Since then, we've established ourselves as a member of Tableau's advocacy board, a strategic alliance partner in Tableau's alliance program. We were also named their partner of the year for in Europe, Middle East, and Africa region previously. So in today's session, we are going to explore different powerful pairings and look at how they integrate with each other. I will take you through some architectural patterns that use different services to cater to a range of use cases and user groups. We will also demonstrate all of these different pairings to give you a sense of how each of them can be used to service different business needs, and I hope you find it's quite useful and this sparks a discussion. For those of you who are not aware of Tableau, you have four main offerings. So Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, Tableau Online, and Tableau Prep. So Tableau Desktop is your desktop tool where you do most of your authoring and you build visualizations, create your data models. And this is very much a desktop tool. The Tableau Server is a sort of a web-based platform, so you can host, orchestrate, refresh your data sources, and collaborate largely with Tableau Server. Tableau Online is essentially a SaaS offering of Tableau Server, so it is a managed offering. So Tableau maintains it, updates it, very similar in terms of what it offers in terms of functionality as Tableau Server. And Tableau Prep it was launched in 2018 and is essentially a UI-based tool. It offers data transformation capabilities that was not previously present in Tableau's wheelhouse. So a pretty important offering now. Now let's take a look at Azure Synapse Analytics. So we're hoping to look at some of the architectural considerations as well as followed by a demo of how Azure Synapse Analytics will integrate with Tableau. So some of the important resources that make up Azure Modern Data Architecture is Data Factory, which is used to ingest multiple sources, Azure Databricks, which is used to transform data, SQL database, which is Azure SQL database, or Data Warehouse is a sort of modeling tool which also hosts data for sort of front-end solutions or basically to store all of your modeled data. And then you have ADLS, which is an efficient, scalable storage for your underlying data. Now, SQL Data Warehouse has not just been renamed Azure Synapse Analytics, but it is designed to be more powerful than that, and it achieves the combining power of Data Factory and Databricks into a single product. So that makes it that I think will make it quite exciting. As you can see, so instead of leveraging multiple products, Azure Synapse Analytics encompasses the required tool to ingest, transform, and serve data in a single platform, as we discussed. Now let's look at the basic building blocks which provide Azure Synapse Analytics its power. Synapse SQL, so this is used to query and analyze data with T-SQL. Then you have Apache Spark for Synapse, which enables you to quickly create notebooks to write custom logic for your data transformations. and business logic. And then you have Synapse pipelines, which can be built to end workflows for your data movement. And then finally, you have Synapse Studio, which sort of encompasses all of these tools and hosts all of these tools, provides a simple UI-based uniform environment to make use of all of these platforms. Now let's try and leverage what we discussed about Synapse Analytics and try and use it in our architecture with Tableau. So as Synapse Analytics was recently made available to public, still most of the features are still in preview mode. This architecture has not, the one that we're going to discuss, not yet productionized, but it will have useful information to understand the possibilities that are offered so that you can make an informed decision when you choose to. So first we have all of our data sources on the left-hand side, as you can see. This, as we saw earlier, this pattern sort of also leverages the ADLS as the data storage layer. However, as we move between logic folders in case of source and output, we would be using Synapse pipelines for orchestrating data flow and Spark for Synapse to write notebook code. And you will see more of that when we do some of the sort of demos as well. And then, yeah, all of your process data can sit in Synapse SQL, which can then be surfaced through reporting tools, powerful reporting tools like Tableau. Let's look at how we can leverage a combination of Azure Synapse and Tableau to operationalize your analytics outputs. As I said previously, this is your analytics workspace isn't available in general availability, so I'm not sure how many of you have had a chance to look at it. So I just wanted to bring it up on the screen to showcase sort of what is available over here. So you have your SQL pool and your Apache Spark pool, which are basically your resources. So SQL pool, you can sort of attach your SQL scripts to this, and it uses those resources, and it's fairly scalable as well in terms of size as well as compute capabilities. And Apache Spark pool is similar for notebooks. You can launch your Synapse Studio from here. Clicking on that would sort of bring us here. So your Synapse workspace has your ingest, explore, analyze, and visualize if you're using Power BI. All of those capabilities under a single umbrella over here in the studio. Let's look at the data tab here. So in your workspace section, in your storage accounts over here, we have your different sort of data sets that you can host. Yeah, as you can see, these are all basically file systems that you can host, and all of these will have the files that we have loaded into the data lake store. The great part about this is you can sort of preview this data fairly easily. You can also sort of write a SQL script to create a bulk uploader or select 100 rows, and it does it by itself, much like in SSMS with the top 100 rows. You can write a new notebook as well, and sort of it automatically creates a script to load the data into a cluster, which is very exciting. You can attach it to sort of whatever resource that you want, and you can also choose from a host of languages. So it's quite flexible that way. If I just go back here, so yeah, you also have the functionality to create a new data flow, and it will create that data flow itself. So basically a no-code platform to orchestrate your data movement, so it allows you to do that as well, which is quite nice. If you look at your workspace, this is essentially where all your database, data warehouse are hosted. So you can access all your structures that you have created, and all of them will be visible here. So all your sort of tables, views, etc. would all be present here. In your develop space over here, all of the notebooks that you create, for example, so if I close this down, I have the option of saving changes. So if I close this down, so all of the notebooks that I have here and SQL scripts that I've created are all present in the develop. For the purpose of today's exercise, what we've done is we've used script 1 to create a structure within our SQL DW, and between 2 and 3, we've used that to load the data, as you can see over here. And also we've used notebooks to do further transformations and aggregations and things like that. That's a little bit about that. You have data flows as well, so you can manage your data flows within this environment as well. And then finally, orchestration of pipelines to call notebooks, automate your calls and things like that. All of that is managed through your orchestrate area. So a lot of your ADF functionality is covered over here, which is interesting. I'm not going to get into the monitor and manage sections because we are focusing on Tableau's interaction with Power BI, but we've done an in-depth webinar, and we have its recording present on our website. So if you're interested, please do have a look. Now let me switch over to Tableau and show you how Tableau interacts with this. What I can do is I can go to my Tableau homepage as soon as I open Tableau. This is the screen that I see, and all of the different data sources are present over here. So I can click on Azure Synapse Analytics, which is a new connector present in 2020.2. I have logged in here before, so therefore it gives me a prompt, and I can enter my credentials and connect to this. As you can see that it's connected me to that workspace that I was talking about, the data warehouse, and then I can sort of create my own data model by just dragging and dropping things. And it creates those relationships and things like that by itself, which is quite intuitive and pretty useful. Now that I've shown you this, let me show you a workbook, a very simple workbook that we created with our data source over here. We've created some relationships with fact, sales, and all of the dimensions. And yeah, this is, as you can see, a live connection to the database, the data warehouse, apologies. And and you can filter on the go just like you can with an on-premise system, and all of your analysis, and because the power of Azure Synapse Analytics is such that it can host everything from ML to transformations, all of that can be surfaced through Tableau. As you can see, if I click on a selection, it's fairly instantaneous, even though we've got quite a bit of data. That's the exciting bit about it. I won't delve into too many of these features because this is pretty standard from what we've built. We just wanted to showcase how those two interact together. So now that we've looked at Synapse, let's talk about how we are going to create analysis with Databricks and the benefits that offers. The obvious change that you can see in the semantic layer is now that sort of Tableau can directly connect to the Databricks database, that is when the clusters are running. And this would potentially move the requirement for the enriched layer and data lake because the final staging layer becomes your Databricks environment. Let's look at a quick demo about how this sort of pairing works. So I wasn't sure how many of you had sort of been to the Databricks interface, so I wanted to show that as well. So this is your Databricks interface, and then you have your home over here, you have your common tasks, so you can create notebooks, tables, clusters. You can also do MLflow experiments, so that functionality is also possible, as it is with Synapse Analytics. So for the purpose of our session today, we had our Databricks and Tableau workspace that we had created, and we've sort of produced a few notebooks to load data, transform data. I'm just going to briefly walk you through what transformations we've done so that you understand what we are trying to do when we connect to Tableau. So we've got Delta Lake, which is another offering from Databricks, which is an open source offering at the moment, and again, a fairly exhaustive topic, so I won't cover this in too much detail right now. We've got content on it, but it really helps with versioning so that you can store different versions of the same data set over time, and that sort of helps with history preservation and things like that. What we've done in this notebook is we've read and stored them in tables. Then we've done transformations, we've done cleansing, we've done aggregation, and all of the standard stuff that you expect from sort of a notebook. But we've also done aggregations and sort of created visualizations to also show that there is visualization capability that is present within Databricks itself for sort of data scientists who are sort of creating analysis on the go. Now that we've run this workbook and we've attached it to a cluster, you can access all of this directly from Tableau. So let me show you how we do that. So we can get a new data source and connect to Databricks, which is again a popular option over here. With the server name and the host name, that HTTP path as well, both of them can be found on the Databricks portal itself, so that gives you an indication of where to get this data information from. Your username is a token that is generated every time you want to get your token refreshed, so that you don't have to use your credentials in a place, so that from a security perspective it's better. So I have recently created my own token, so let me use that. And as you can see, I'm able to connect to my cluster and all of the different sort of data frames that are present here. So similarly, we've created a workbook based on all of those clusters as well. And so all of those are present over here, and we can play around with it. Again, it's a live connection, so as you toggle, things change, and it queries back to the cluster, and it uses the compute capabilities of that cluster, refresh data. And this is really powerful because compute capabilities of Databricks are very scalable, and therefore that really helps with performance, and there are significant advantages to that. So to summarize the benefits of the connector and the ability of Databricks and Tableau to work close together, the most obvious benefit is that you get your data from Tableau closer to the time of its arrival into the lake. You also get to leverage Databricks compute power, as I said. I think the Delta Lake, which we haven't covered today, but you should definitely check out, has sort of reliability of ACID transactions. And it uses a simple native connector. As we saw, the connections are extremely simple, and also gives you great computational power and speed. So a lot of benefits of using these two platforms in conjunction. There is another possibility that you can really leverage Databricks for, and I think I touched upon it briefly. For data scientists, when during their exploration activity notice trends and develop hypotheses about the data, they can use Databricks in conjunction with Tableau and generate their own theories by exploiting the data science capabilities of Databricks. And once you surface that using Tableau, you find a unified platform for sharing and collaborating as well, which makes it really powerful. The next thing we want to look at, now that we've seen how Tableau can make use of external data sets sitting in different platforms, we want to show you how Tableau can to make analytics accessible through its own platform. So therefore, we want to talk about R and Python integration today. As with Tableau, I'm sure many of you are familiar with R and Python. They're both free, open source, and extensively programmable leading tools for data science. Since sort of its inception, R has primarily been the tool for data scientists to construct very complex models and derive value from the data set. Being that R has been around in the early 90s, and it's been sort of the main robust tool for the realm of sort of statistical analysis, and it is very, very popular. Python, on the other hand, has the same programmability, but is not as focused on statistical analysis. Python, however, has specialized deep learning and machine learning libraries, which lend itself well to data science applications. Why combining Tableau with Python and R can help your sort of analytics a lot is, I think, traditional processes for interaction amongst business users and data scientists, we believe, have inherent flaws. Data scientists will spend time developing models and eventually deploying them to business users in form of some sort of extract. This inherently, we believe, leads to utilizing these analytics tools in silos. And what happens is they get deployed as extracts, and then business users utilize these extracts to create their own sort of hypotheses and analysis further down. And what ends up happening is they have their own version of the model and their individual analysis, but lack the one source of the truths that can always come back to lead organization, and generally causes confusion, and you never know what's what. With Tableau, you can swap out these workbooks that are being provided to business users and replace it with something that your business may already be investing in. Thus putting your analytical and reporting tools into one place. So combining Tableau with R and Python works in a similar way to the traditional methodology, but instead of deploying the extracts directly to users, they can publish them to Tableau. And their analytical insights can then sit on top of it and be enhanced by the visuals that get created. And that will allow your business users to access more analytical outputs and as well as access uniform analytical outputs. So that will really elevate the level of data-driven decision-making across the organization. Now that we've looked at this and sort of understood the benefits of how you can sort of almost operationalize your analytics that is currently being done in R and Python with Tableau, let's look at a demo of how you might go about achieving that. And we have an example of that. So we've done some outlier analysis and some modeling work on this. But prior to that, what I wanted to show you was some prerequisites. So before you can start using R libraries and functions within Tableau, your Tableau calculations, you must install your R software, which will act as your engine to do all of those calculations and access all of those libraries. So it is important that you download all of the necessary libraries and load all of these packages as I have. Once you've done that, you can then test those whether your analytics engine is working through a simple option over here. So manage your analytics extensions, and you can have rserve, or you can have a TabPy or external API. So I've chosen rserve, and then you can test your connection. So yeah, once the connection is successful, you know you're ready to go. So what we've done over here is we've leveraged the computing capability of R and its functions to create an outlier analysis calculation. So let me just show that to you. So we have a script reel over here, and then outlier. This is a library which basically what it does is it goes through the values that are produced by sum of dollar sales, and then it analyzes whether this data point is an outlier or not, and then sort of assigns the correct label to it. So we've done this calculation, and then based on that, it's been able to identify these data points as outliers. So that is the benefit of it, is once you've done this calculation, you can visualize it, and that is very, very evident to you. And you can do many more calculations like this and do much more complex analysis and sort of make your data really tell you what is going on with your business. With that, I think I would like to say that's all we have for today. If you have any questions around how you can get started with setting up any of these capabilities or finding out which of these would serve your business needs, please do reach out to us. So yeah, again, thank you for your time. If you'd like to learn more and explore how you can take advantage of these opportunities to enhance your analytics capabilities, please feel free to get in touch.